Hello everyone, hope you're having a fantastic Sunday. Today we're going to hopefully finish 6.1 MSQ. Looking forward to see what the heck happens with that guy in the World of Darkness. Because we've been wondering about the 13th for forever. And now we're gonna get a little bit more information on it. Now before we do that, we gotta help Varshan / Vitra to help to distribute out the wealth from that dungeon, and let's see how that goes. It's not dilly-dally. Get started and talk to Varshan here. Did we talk to Estinian last time? Let's check. I hope you enjoyed the expedition, at least. Otherwise, it was a heavy purse to pay for the treasure map leading to a treasure we couldn't keep. Right, I think we talked to him last time. Anyway, let's go ahead and talk to Varshan and get started. Sharing the wealth. Varshan wishes to discuss the distribution of the treasure. Shall we begin? If we are to spend the treasure wisely, then we must first determine which group would benefit most from the monetary assistance. Some of my citizens may find it intimidating to speak with the satrap directly, so I would ask that you act in my stead. Brilliant. You are to visit Akayali and Yedlamhad. Speak with Matsya and his people and listen to their grievances. Estinian, I bid you do the same at Palakstand. I will be conducting my own inquiries in Giant Skull grounds. I don't know how Estinian is going to fare doing this, but okay. Once you believe you have ascertained the needs of the populace, we can reconvene at Megaduta. Alright. We gotta head over to Matsya's place and Yedlamad. Let's head on out. See, I'll go ahead and take the Radzidhan Aetherite out and then teleport to Yedlamad. Yeah, I guess I'll start with Yedlamad unless I have to start at Matsya's place. Because there's no Aetherite directly to Matsya's place, so I gotta go to Yedlamad and then fly up north. Okay, let's see. Well, not north, but either way, it doesn't look like I need to actually go in Yedlamad. I need to go over to the Akayali. I find it kind of interesting how we ended up doing the void quests. And I hadn't even intended for that to tie into 6.1 MSQ. Then again, I don't think they thought so either. Unless, of course, some of the events, because I know something happens in 6.5. But, obviously we're not there yet. We'll get there when we get there. Anyway, let's talk to Matsya. Oh, brilliant. I was so glad to see you had returned unharmed. You finished with the boat then? Yes, I am done, Matsya. Anything the village desperately needs? Well, I suppose Kazal loss hit us the hardest. I've been trying to find buyers for my fish, but although I sell a few here and there, it's so much more difficult than it was before. Everyone's still struggling to rebuild their lives, for now. We're just banding together as best we can. It sounds like they're struggling, but they're not, like, in dire straits. Anyway, let's see in Yedlamad. Let's see who the people that we're going to talk to here. Let's see. This is probably one of the merchants. Yeah, the junkmonger. Greetings and welcome, traveler. Is this your first visit to Thavner? Then you must try my special arma lassi. Its refreshing zest cannot be beat. What could such wonder cost, you wonder? Normally I put with 3 bottles for a generous price of 19,800 gil. But for you, I was willing to go as low as even 10,000. You'd be practically stealing from me. It sounds like the prices haven't gotten any better. Stealing at that price, you're the only thief around here. Still not turning a profit these days. I am not Estinian. Times are harsh, my friend. The world no longer be on fire. The world may no longer be on fire, but we are still sifting through the ashes, so to speak. Just spare me. We might as well have that ugly tower back for scant few travelers we see these days. I myself barely have the coin to buy at local prices, I tell you. If I didn't charge the odd adventurer a small fortune for afternoon tea, I'd be scavenging for scraps in the street. You sound like you're in a little bit worse position than Matsia's people. Let's see what this guy's got to say. How fares the port? Well, it's in shambles, isn't it? The trade routes are open once more now that the danger has passed, certainly. But no small number of merchants have had to sell their ships to make ends meet in the short term. Add to that the sailors we lost in the final days, and it's little wonder the flow of exports is no more than a pitiful trickle. If Khazal and his consortium were still with us, I'm sure he'd have found a way to turn our fortunes around. Now that was a man who had got things done. God's rest his soul. You have spoken with key local figures and gained understanding of the populace's hardships. Varshan awaits you to report in Magna Duta. Okay. That's back in Razat Han, right? Yes. Let's teleport back over there. The stupid fly that's been flying around is, of course, come into the room after I close the door. And now it's going to be buzzing around for the entire stream. Anyway, let's head up to Magna Duta. Alright, Varjana, so I figured out the merchants are probably hurting and causing a bit of a problem. Astinia, what did you figure out? It would seem my stint at Vitra's... it would seem my stint on Vitra's back did not go unnoticed. I couldn't take 2 steps before another Hanish local was thanking me profusely for saving their home. Stinian, he's not used to being the hero. Ah, my advisor's return. I've just made it back myself. Why do you retain this vessel now that your true form is known? You could have flown across the island in a fraction of the time. Estinian, it's a lot easier for them to... It's a lot easier for Vitra to be asked questions as a human, well, as a humanoid, than as a dragon. And dragons are slightly intimidating. I'm not sure you noticed since you're so used to talking to them and, you know, riding them. Be that as it may, the sight of a massive creature descending from the sky can be startling to say the least. And there are few places I can enter comfortably without risk of flattening some cart or stall. That's true. I actually thought of that before. That, like, even if people are used to the dragon can't exactly go into like, buildings or anything, all without, like, a special entrance. Fair enough. As for my inquiries, the people of Palakstand were unanimous in their reply. They are surviving. Resources were stretched to the limit when refugees were pouring in, but they persevered with some assistance from Yedlamad. From what I understand, they have always been an independent community, hunters and forgers and the like, and I was assured that the jungle provides for their needs for the most part. Palakstand has weathered the disaster better than most, it seems. I myself heard good news and bad. The quarrymen were cautiously optimistic, having just sold the full wagon of giant skull to a foreign trader. But such visitors are few and far between. Compared to our best years, the weight of the stone leaving Thavnir has been light indeed. Our nation is small and isolated, its prosperity dependent on a steady stream of exports. We must identify any obstacles to the flow of trade, so we may begin working to remove them. Tell me, what did you learn in archaeology in Yidlamod? Well, I mean, they're working, but they're having the same issues. I see. Without a dedicated buyer, the average fisherman will struggle to offload his daily catch. Which is why I believe we should first address the lack of ships and shortage of able-bodied sailors in Yidlamod. That's kind of what I was thinking. I'm reminded of a child I spied as I made my way back to the palace. His father lost at sea, and the beast sunk their vessel. So many variations of the same tragic tale, repeated over and over. So many lives lost. Yep. Same kind of story. Enough grief to drown in if we let ourselves be overcome. But we will not. Brilliant Estinian, I will consider the perspectives you brought me and devise a plan to help my people confront this adversity. Come, I would like you to be in attendance when I announce the proposal to my assembled functionaries.
I thank you for your attendance. The riches the Radiant Host have retrieved were hoarded in Al-Zadal's name. A fortune I set aside for a future day of need. And lo, that day hath come. May it aid our wounded city in reclaiming its vibrancy and vigor.
You know, a slush fund.
In better times, I would leave such a task to our capable Ahawan. God's rest his soul. Finding myself bereft of his counsel in the here and now, I will assume the responsibilities of mine office directly. Firstly, the treasure shall be sold for more convenient currency. Thence, invested into the trading port of Yedlamad. Our merchants must have their operations restored, their ships rebuilt. Commerce must flow once more. None were spared the tragedy of the final days. Of this, I am well aware. But an absence was created by the loss of Karazal's consortium. And by filling it, we provide new means for our fishermen, our artisans, and others to bring their wares to distant markets.
Okay, but what about the common people?
And what of the children who were left without family to care for them?
That is a concern which weigheth heavily upon my mind. A simple gift of coin will soon be exhausted, leaving these young souls adrift on the fringes of our society. Nay, a proper solution is needed, one which doth guarantee their welfare for years to come. Thou hast surely seen how other nations rise to meet this challenge, adventurer. What dost thou deem the wisest course?
Clearly we should take the old Dawn approach. Let him starve. Nah, we're gonna go with Ishgard. That's it. It takes a village. Taxes. Levy them on trade profits in exchange for your investment. That's not a bad idea. It'll take a village. I don't remember what that's a reference to. And then Idleshire's orphanages, Lowy. Highly coveted goods. Let's just go with the taxes. Although that's still not.
I see. We create a reliable source of revenue. Let us put this idea into practice. A contract shall be written, requiring all who receive of Al-Zadal's treasure to commit a portion of their future earnings towards the running of an...
Yeah, it doesn't matter what you choose.
Now, such an influential policy is deserving of a worthy name.
How about the Beryllian contract? Don't make me choose. Something with Khazal seems appropriate. Why not honor one of your most successful merchants? Nah, let's just go with Khazal. It is technically his fortune.
A fitting candidate. Khazal should be remembered, not as the blasphemy which terrorized...
Oh, right, wrong person.
But as a hard-working and generous man who brought much wealth to our shores. Do any among you object to this proposition? Many here lost loved ones to the beasts.
In that time of strife, any one of us could have broken. Any one of us may have been taken by despair. When I think of Khazal, I feel no hatred. Only a stinging regret that we could not save him as well. Isn't that right, men?
This bodes well for that boy. Mirad, was it? Perhaps he can cut ties with that shady peddler.
Then let it be done. Henceforth, this initiative shall be known as the Khazal Foundation. Nabdeen, thou art to assemble a patrol and ensure that no child in this city liveth in squalor.
I still think we should have taken the old Dawn approach.
See to the management of our funds and make haste. Our citizens must not suffer a day more than is necessary.
Dragon and man, side by side in pursuit of a brighter morrow. Reminded of Ishgard.
Yeah. Let's see. Useless food I'll never use. Let's see, it's healing. I don't want any of these. Just do Gil. Why did I get 1,001 gil? Anyway, Sogdostinian and then Veteran Radiant. Vitra is warming to his role as satrap. Clearly, all those years behind the curtain were not meant to spent napping. Bridging the Rift. The Veteran Radiant wishes to share his gratitude. Don't skip it. Thank you for putting forth Kalzal's name. Those whose lives he enriched will take comfort in seeing his legacy honored. You will forgive me for not speaking sooner, but I fear a message from Archon Y'shtola. I bear a message from Archon Y'shtola. She asks that you meet her in the High Crucible at your earliest convenience. Did she find something out? Understood. Thank you. Y'shtola must have finished her study of the Void Gate. Shall we hear what she has to say then? I will go with you. I thought the satrap would be too busy setting up the foundation. My clerks have been the well-oiled cogs of this administration since before Awan assumed the office. They understand what needs to be done. And I am curious to learn what conclusions your Archon has reached concerning the gate's unique construction. As you wish. Allow me to lead the way, Your Excellency. Oh, let's head on over there. Let's see, find out what Y'shtola figured out. Maybe we can shove Alphinaud through after all. Actually, I think Al is AV more willing. I mean, I'm sure Varshan will fit. He's smaller than both of them. For one who claims it is too late to save his sister, Beecher seems awfully interested in whatever revelations Y'shtola might have to share. Shall we hear what your scholarly comrade has to say? He does seem quite excited.
Right, here we all are.
Man, they're voicing like all of these cutscenes.
You discovered something new.
I took a closer look at that device. I was able to determine how it keeps the Void Gate sealed, but not how it might instead be employed to expand the opening. For that, I would need to reference the technique developed by Vritra's alchemists, no records of which appear to have survived the intervening years.
Well, that's annoying.
We know this, so why have you sent for us? Have you learned aught of value or not?
Jesus, Stinian.
Patience, good sir. One must introduce the subject before launching into specifics. From what we understand, travel between worlds is accomplished by passing through the nebulous rift which exists between them. Picture, if you will, the moment you were called to the first.
Let's see, so... You mean when I was flying through the universe and seeing stuff?
You touched a focus of some kind to help the exile pinpoint your location. His summoning spell then channeled the energies of the Crystal Tower to begin your journey to his world. The magics tore a hole in the wall separating source and shard, and cast you into the intervening nothingness. In that place, the laws of nature hold no sway. Yet even through this realm of temporal and spatial instability, you were borne safely to your destination in the first.
True.
The feat that guided you across such an unimaginable distance, both physical and metaphorical, was nothing short of a miracle.
Then what of the many voidsent found in the source? Who guides them here, and how?
That's an interesting question.
An excellent question. Though there are several methods by which the Void's denizens might intrude upon our world, the rituals of summoning are the most typical. For example, let us consider the Gargoyle, a creature of middling power. To call upon such an entity, the prospective summoner must force open a void gate. The portal lasts but a moment and is relatively small, allowing only an imp or other lesser being to squeeze through with their physical body intact. Our more powerful gargoyle, however, is too large for that. Creating a gate big enough for him would require vast amounts of energy, far beyond the reserves of any one mortal practitioner. Instead, 'tis far more common to bring over only the entity's soul. We had a taste of that ourselves when a certain exarch dragged us to the first.
Yep. We've seen that multiple times, even outside of Shadowbringers.
And just as our bodies remained in our world, the Voidsent's physical form is left behind in the 13th. Once at its destination, the summoned soul is granted a temporary shell to inhabit. In the gargoyle's case, a stone effigy has proven a suitable vessel.
Wait. You said that Voidsent must be called here deliberately by someone in the source, reeled in like a fisherman with his catch.
Yeah, pretty much.
Exactly. For a being to navigate the chaos of the rift, with or without form, there must needs be a guiding agent on the other side.
When the hordes poured forth from Alag's Great Gate, it was the technologists who drew them through. Though to my knowledge, planar fissures are in essence natural passages between our world and the void, which require no such guidance to traverse. Why is only the boundary between the source and the 13th so fragile? So much so that it often tears open of its own accord.
That's a good question, too.
I believe solving that mystery is key to understanding travel between the source and its reflections.
And how do you intend to get your answers?
No, the danger is too great.
He wants to go through it.
Perhaps. But what some call danger, others think of as adventure.
Hold on, Ishtola, can you tell me the plan before you volunteer me?
Were you not listening to my tale? Never mind that the means to expand the gate has been lost to the ages. Even could you force the portal wide enough, you would be greeted by an army of murderous horrors the very instant you step through.
Well, I mean, how is that any different than what I faced before?
I assure you I was most attentive. And I agree that to go alone would be certain death. But if I were to bring along one who has already braved the 13th, and humbled the cloud of darkness, well, I imagine my chances would be much improved.
Ishtal, I think you're still moving a little bit fast. Count me in. So much for taking it easy. That's way better.
Since when were you one for the quiet life?
Oh, well, I kind of like a bit of my crafting.
Once again, I put my life in your ever-reliable hands. That said, as much as I would like to march straight back to the Void Gate, there is the small matter of being unable to open it without the Satrap's personal
Jeez.
authority.
Ishtal, please.
As I've said before, I will grant you and yours any boon you choose to name, provided it does not endanger my people.
You have my word that we will take every precaution. Not a single void scent will be allowed to threaten Radzatan, assuming we manage to expand the portal in the first place.
You have a plan.
I would hope so.
Actually, I had hoped you might help us with that. I presume the alchemists you retained supplied you with some explanation of their methodology.
That they did. House Daimir was overseeing the project.
Daimir. Ah, yes. The family associated with the Great Work.
The Great Walk. They make some pretty good Chinese food.
I did not fully comprehend the theory, but their research began with a void scent which had slipped through the fissure. After a thorough examination, they created an arcane simulacrum possessed of similar qualities. A man-made void scent, if you will. It was apparently indispensable in their efforts to enlarge the gate.
That's interesting.
A man-made void scent.
Yes. Being great admirers of the Archons, House Daimir submitted detailed notes to Charlene's official committee. They expected praise and accolades for their simulacrum, and were thus devastated to be informed that their work had been classified as prohibited material.
If that's true, then those notes might still be stored in a forbidden archive somewhere. Not Google, of course, since that library had yet to be built. Which leaves us with...
Charlene. With the restricted section of the Numenon, it's Graha's favorite place to sneak around with what? Yeah, it's Graha's place to sneak around and get caught.
Indeed. Numenon's restricted stacks may very well hold a copy. In which case, I say we head directly to Charlene.
Unless you anticipate needing help to reach the high shelves, I see myself being of little use. Go on ahead. I still need to find Mirad and tell him about the Kalzal Foundation.
Good guy, Stinian, always looking out for the kids.
Let us be on our way as well.
I feel like Ishtal is jumping into this a little too quickly.
They are resolved to venture into the void. Do I sit idly by?
Well, I mean, going by what the plot's probably going to be, probably not. It's getting interesting. ... Oh, I guess we gotta head back to old Charlene. Check out the forbidden section of the Numenon. Yeah, just teleport over there. Alright, oh, never mind. She's right over here. I was gonna head over to the Numenon. If you were to enter the Numenon's restricted archives with minimum fuss, then we must secure permission of the Forum, of course, because this is going to be very easy. First, however, we shall need to enlist the cooperation of a member to broach the matter on our behalf. Who do you think might be inclined to assist us? What about the scholar? The teacher guy? No one springs to mind. What about Scarlet Montagagny? Did come to Graha's defense during the inquiry, after all. 'Tis settled. Let us head to the phenomenon and see if he's willing to help us once more. Your stole is not accompanying you. Keep her at your side. Proceed with the quest objective. You leave your stole. Yeah. Okay, let's see. Are there any spots to talk? Just only right there? Okay, we'll teleport over then. And now the question is, are you going to be able to find the guy? Because like it was a bit difficult for us to find him before. I apprenticed to Master Matoya at the age of 7 and labor under her tutelage for a full decade. I never had the chance to attend the studium. Neither did Thancred, as I recall. Soon after Master Louisoix took him in off the streets, he was put in the care of another Archon. His was a righteous and practical education in the arts of espionage and survival. I sometimes wonder what my life might have been. I sometimes wonder what my life might have been like had I pursued studies here instead. Tea at the last stand after a day of lectures. Should I wonder as well? I don't. No. Oh, it does sound lovely. Afternoons with friends spent sipping tea and debating theories. Still, I wouldn't give up my time with Master Matoya for the world. The dank cave I studied in was about as far from the bright, airy halls of the academia as one could get, but it was a wondrous, magical childhood nonetheless. That sounds about like Y'shtola. Alright, where is this guy gonna be? In the back corner? Okay, let's head back there. Let's see, this opens? Ah, okay. Another one of the classrooms. Ah, visitors, and quite esteemed ones at that. What may I do for you? Pray forgive the intrusion, Scholark, but we were hoping you might help us secure permission to enter the Numenon's restricted archives. Oh, no furtive forays into the stacks of time, eh? Oh, into the stacks this time, eh? I applaud this newfound sense of propriety, yet in all this wide world of comparative serenity, what so compels you to disturb the vault of forbidden wisdom? We want to go to the 13th. Fascinating. I had no idea such a technique existed. I would have been surprised if you had. If my assumption is correct, the research left behind by House de Mer has lain dormant in Charlene's archives for many centuries. And if you unearth this research, what then? Surely you don't intend to cross over into the void. No. We'd never do something that foolish. That is, in fact, precisely what we intend. To what end, pray tell? To develop a method of traversing the rift, for one, that I might keep my word to a distant friend. Sentiment aside, I've journeyed to the end of existence. I've heard, felt, and thought endlessly about the truth of our world and the echo of its future. And yet, I want to understand everything, to unravel it all down to its very last secret. What scholarly worth of the name wouldn't force open a void gate or two if a grand revelation was the promised reward? No, I don't think so. Ha 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 ha, marvelous. An audacious proposal worthy of Master Matoya herself. And after hearing the whys and the wherefores, I for one do not believe you would use the knowledge for ill. I see no reason not to present your request to the forum's consideration. That went better than I expected. Although, your petition would be better received if you also had the support of another well-placed acquaintance. Who would that be? Why, Master Fortunato, of course. I don't know how we're gonna win him over. He can hardly ignore an earnest request from his dear children's most treasured comrades. Okay. I was hesitant to approach him directly, but there is no denying that having Master Fortunato on our side would tip the balance in our favor. Very well. We will pay him a visit to the Livier estate and plead our case. I don't see him agreeing to this. One last thing before you go. I would consider it a personal favor if you might share with me the discoveries you make in the void. My appetite for knowledge is every bit as insatiable as yours, I'd wager. So if you could see your way to indulging an old man's curiosity? Okay, that's why he agreed. Of course, Scholark. We will be sure to pass on any revelations. The forum can be... What? How do you say this? Cantacaris. Sure. The forum can be a Cantacaris beast. One needs a persuasive voice to get it moving in the desired direction. Sure. Anyway, let's head over to the Livier estate and see if we can convince Fortunal to help us out. Maybe we should go to Amelian's first. I think she'd have a much better chance. Also, are my retainers done? Yeah, let's check on those first. Got enough of those. Let's see, how many eggs do I have? I don't need very many. I have plenty of those hides. I have plenty of these too. I guess we can just get more milk. Okay. Let's head on over to the Livier estate. Again, I still don't see how we're going to get Vince Fortunal to do this. Oh, okay, kind sir. Have you seen Master around? Ah, Mistress Brilliant, Mistress Y'shtola. How may I be of service? We've come to speak with Master Fortunald. Is he home by any chance? Yes, the Master is in residence. I shall inform him that he has guests. Well, well, Amelians would invite you inside for tea, but I assume this is not a social visit. You have some matter of import to discuss. Yes, Daddy. Then pray proceed. You have my full attention. We want to go to the 13th. We actually thought about shoving Alphinaud in through the Void Gate first, but we decided that probably wouldn't be a good idea. Well, I suppose I should praise you for following the proper protocols this time around. Scholaric Montashagany expressed much the same sentiment. I assure you, we will not attempt to circumvent the form's authority again, unless of course, it is absolutely necessary, of course. Of course. You do understand that the restricted archives are restricted for good reason, yes? If no pressing need exists, then why risk the consequences of employing this forbidden knowledge for fun? For a brother who misses his sister, she was his guardian and his friend, a selfless hero who crossed the rift between worlds to save her homeland from horror and suffering. But the brother has given up on thoughts of reunion. He spends his efforts elsewhere, watching over a people yet healing from the flames of the final days, loyal to his duty while betraying the longing in his heart. How poignant. 'Tis no vital mission, perhaps, reuniting these siblings, but it feels a worthy cause to pursue all the same. As one who feared losing his own loved ones and spent years in research to prevent it, surely you appreciate how painful such a separation must be. Appealing to him like that. Reflections are still very much a mystery to us. Offering to share your experiences in the first should constitute a fair exchange in our cooperation. For our cooperation, well, that sounds like a good deal for us. Do not celebrate it just yet. The forum must still be convinced. I will add your request to the list of today's deliberations and deliver the decision to you at the Baldizian Annex. Alright, that went over better than I expected. In that case, let's head on over to the Annex and wait on Daddy Fortunal to bring us the news. Let's see, now why is it in an AoE circle? Oh, okay. So, what did the forum decide? To put it bluntly, Master Matoya has burned some bridges here in Charlian, well that's an understatement, and salted the earth for good measure. When it became clear that her student... Oops. When it became clear that her student was the petitioner in question, well, no few members voiced their discontent. Then the chamber was reminded, in no uncertain terms I might add, of the incredible debt we owe you and your companions. That served to silence the grumbles and stiffen a few spines, and it was agreed that allowing you entry to the archives was the least we can do in return. That is wonderful news. Thank you both of you for speaking on our behalf. Yes, well, as I am sure you are aware, this permission was not extended lightly. Forbidden knowledge is to be treated with the utmost caution, and there will be repercussions if it is not. I don't think we're going to have to worry about repercussions if the world is dead. I wish you well in your endeavor, and bid you a good day. Ever the same, that one. Uncompromising, aye, but that very stoicism is exactly what Charlene needed to guide it through not one, but 2 exoduses. True. It's still a bit of a pain to deal with. If I were but 5 years younger, I'd cast aside my lectern and join you on your adventures in a heartbeat. I think you need more than 5 years. That went rather well, I think. As a child, I dreamed up on any number of schemes for getting my hands. Of course she did. As a child, I dreamed up any number of schemes for getting my hands on those forbidden tomes, and now I can simply walk through the door. Our focus will be finding House Damir's research notes, of course, but the thought of so much knowledge at my disposal has me feeling a bit little giddy. Like a little kitty? So that was... Let me look at where we are. So next one is require restricted reading. Okay, we got 3 more quests. Let's keep going. I'd like to set out as soon as you are ready. Restricted reading. Wanta Shagini is waiting to offer you further instructions. You'll be heading directly to the archives from here, I presume. You presume correctly. Then you'll want to speak with the index page when you arrive. It's been instructed to grant you access to the restricted section. Excellent. Once again, we thank you for your help. Oh, it was my pleasure, believe me. May you find the knowledge you seek. Shall we? Ishtal is following you. Okay. Go ahead and head on over to the phenomenon. Head into the restricted section. Oh, yeah, over here. Oh, the Numenon, not the phenomenon. Duh. Gotta go to the library. We talked to Puddingway last time. His pudding will save the world. You'll see. To think, the set of instructions I laughingly imagined may actually exist, but yalms away from where you found me napping. If I had known of Azadal III's exploits sooner, I could well have saved myself days of research. Even a children's book might have pointed me in the right direction. To achieve the impossible, one must needs be flexible of mind and look beyond conventional wisdom. A lesson I had already learned, but clearly not taken to heart. Clearly. Anyway, it looks like the index page is over here. Let's go ahead and talk to him. He'll let us into the restricted section. Archon Yashola and guest identified. Do you wish to proceed into the restricted archives? Yes. Follow me, if you would. Watch your step, and please note that the use of naked flames is discouraged. Now, you don't really want to burn down the restricted section.
If House Damir's notes are to be found anywhere, it will be here. Let us begin.
This is gonna take a while. I don't know what you expect me to do. I can see why Graha couldn't reach the top shelves now. So many books I've yet to read. Yes, we are here for one specific volume. You needn't remind me. Alright, let's check on this untitled journal. Today, in a world not my own, I met the most beautiful void-born creature. She was so unlike her ravenous brethren. Eyes blazing, not with hunger, but trembling, like a candle's flame, threatening to flicker out at any moment. I wonder if she is even the proper word. Such distinctions seem inconsequential, insignificant even. Sir, please don't put your Void Sent ERP in here. Or your Void Sent fanfiction in the forbidden section. All that matters is the love I feel for this exquisite transcendent being. Though you attempt to read more, this does not seem to be the volume you are seeking. Yeah, I don't think so. Okay, there's one up there. Or two up there. Your voice sent fanfiction. The following pages detail an advanced method for manipulating rift-spanning apertures as devised by the thing that we are looking for. We present these research notes to the faculty of Charlene Studium as both a token of our friendship and an expression of our boundless admiration. You appear to have located the forbidden volume you seek. You still will need to make final confirmation. Well, I mean, oh, apparently I can't read the rest of them. Oh well. Have something you'd like to show me, do you? My apologies. I've flipped open but a single book, and was completely absorbed by its contents. Of course you were. Well done, Brilliant. I think you may have found our prize.
Yes, the ether signature is unmistakable. I've felt the traces of House Damia's resonance many times at the Great Work.
Great Walk.
Time to see what all the fuss was about.
We've seen those before.
Among the ranks of the Void Sent, there exist entities with the power to call forth their brethren from beyond. The species known as Atomos, however, is uniquely prodigious in this regard. From its distended maw, it can expel an endless procession of void-born creatures, a talent which sorely tested the Radiant Host in its battles against these abominations. Surmising that the entity itself was acting as a void gate, we endeavored to capture a small specimen and subsequently examine its physiological structure. Our findings revealed that the Atomos had absorbed a planar fissure into its own flesh, which it could expand at will into a functioning gate.
Interesting.
Upon further analysis, we identified an ethereal wave pattern emitted during this process. A pattern we were able to emulate by passing crystal-stored ether through a specially designed prism.
I can see why this is in the forbidden section.
We proceeded to embed said prism into an arcane simulacrum, thus completing what we have dubbed our artificial Atomos. How could I have been so blind to the possibilities? This species, not to mention its ability to summon Void Sent, has been discussed among academics for years now.
Yeah, they're also in multiple dungeons.
Just before the advent of the 7th Umbral Calamity, we received reports of Atomos sightings from every corner of Eorzea. Surely you've at least heard the tales.
Yeah. Definitely.
And still, House Damia went and built a mock Atomos of their very own. I'm not surprised the Archons consigned their work to a restricted archive. It was no easy task, but at last we've unearthed the volume we've been searching for.
Wonder if they'll let us check it out.
I'd be lying if I said I wasn't tempted to stay longer. See what other forbidden titles might be lurking on these shelves. Ah, but that would be abusing the very special privilege we've been granted now, wouldn't it? Better not.
It's funny, that's called an index page. Those are their library pages, but it's an index page. Congratulations on locating the object of your search. Please move along. As much as I would love to start crafting the Atmost, I'm afraid this is far outside my field of expertise. Fortunately, we have the Hunnish alchemist, who would be delighted. We know a Hunnish alchemist who would be delighted to involve herself in our House Daemir project. Her name is, it's probably Nidana. Our business here is concluded for the moment. Please pass on our regards to the forum. Your message will be conveyed. Should you wish to indulge more forbidden literature, I will be here. Patron mode disabled. Security mode engaged. If anyone can help us, Nidana can. I say we return to Thavner and look for her at the Great Walk. Well, let's go get some Chinese food. I mean, let's go to the Great Walk. I mean, the Great Work. For a second, I thought that was a Loprit. Nope, just a Lala. Okay, so this looks nice. It's snowing. Okay, let's go ahead and just take the very safe and not stomach-wrenching teleporter. Okay, kite. Hopefully this one won't be too bad. Okay, let's fly on over to the Great Walk. I'm sure Nidana's gonna be thrilled. Oh wait, no, we can just teleport over there. I was thinking of Akiali. Hello, Nidana. All these Solo? Oh, okay. All these Solos, sleep-deprived faces, but their eyes still burned with fiery zeal. Some things never change. Like when the first time we met them, they were all literally passed out from exhaustion. Was that? Oh, whatever. Istola tells me you are pursuing a most fascinating study, and that you would want me to be a part of it. I have no doubt you will be interested. This research log should speak for itself. With it now. By the sisters! This is the mark of House Daemir! I never even knew such a work existed. Few should. It was sequestrated in the Numenon's restricted archives, after all. It was, but that means every word within it is forbidden knowledge. A forbidden tome filled with forbidden research and put right into my unsuspecting hands. I can hardly wait to read it. Well, I always knew where that was going. To think that Daemir were developing such marvelous techniques so long ago. How many innovations have been lost over the centuries, I wonder? Now that you've glanced over the notes, what say you in helping us build the new Mark Atomos? I say yes, 1,000 times yes! Work on Damia projects that had ever... What? Even the redoubtable scholar... Okay. Okay. I gotta think how to... Well, I got... My brain, hold on. Gotta get my brain in order. My tongue's getting twisted. Work on a Damia project that even the redoubtable scholars of Charlene trembling in their sandals, no alchemist of the Great Walk could resist. You're a woman after my own heart. Oh, I suppose I should ask. What do you mean to do with this big mouth simulacrum once you've built it? We're gonna go to the 13th. So there's a secret void gate, and it's sealed in the ruin at the bottom of the bounty. Today is a day of revelations indeed. If the purpose of our man-made Atomos is to expand this hidden portal, then I will need to see it for myself, I think. Manipulating rift-spanning apertures is not the sort of thing you want to attempt without first taking into account every single factor. Then by all means, accompany us to the vaults. I plan to lead us back there shortly, once we've finished gathering the components I require. What do you need? Still, Ursula? Charlene's markets provided the raw aquamarine and pure water crystals, but I might need help obtaining a small quantity of astrally infused water. For such liquid, you need to go no further than the Font of Maya. The ascetics of old once favored the place for their meditations, and the water which pools there now is known to enliven the flow of ether. That sounds perfect. If you would be so kind as to fill a flask at the pool, I will petition Vitra to join us. The idea I have in mind won't amount to much without his authority to command the Void Gate. Shall we be about it then? We meet back here anon. This is going a little more. This is going a bit smoother than I expected. Ah, there's no greater joy than hearing a new puzzle to ponder. Having, not hearing. Although you could hear a puzzle. Oh, okay, that pool. Yeah, let's head on over there. Let's see. I've been noticing more recently that the culling seems to be a bit slow, or the image culling. So what I'm talking about is an optimization that a lot of game engines do is that with this rock, there's no point in rendering the stuff that's behind it. And I believe the term for that is referred to as something culling, and I can't remember the exact name. But I've been noticing that those polygons on sometimes just aren't rendered quite fast enough, so then you end up seeing a hole in the world. Anyway, we're not talking about graphics optimizations, we're talking about MSQ. Let's take a look and let's fill up this bottle. Alright, let's head back to the Great Walk. Let's see, that takes a finished restricted reading, and then we got 2 more to go. In that case, we'll probably go ahead and take a break after this one. Oh, there's a Stinian. The boy Mahad was glad to hear the news of the Foundation. It means new life for him and his sister. Archon Ystula requested that I join you, but of her plans she offered scant detail. I understand why. Oh, I forgot to mention, the Font of Maya attracts aggressive wildlife. You should watch out for them when, you go there next time. My apologies, I didn't see a single wildlife. Do you have the flask for me? Of course, Ystula. Anything for you. Yes. This should suffice. Thank you, Berlian. Let's see. Let's get skill speed. Yeah, skill speed. All right, let's go ahead and take a quick break. We've got 2 more quests to do, and we should be able to easily finish that today. But we're gonna go ahead and take a quick break. Time to get up, stretch your legs, go to the bathroom, do whatever you need to, and I'll be right back. Okay, let's get back to it. So did we talk to everyone already? I think we did. But yeah, we did that. Okay, let's go ahead and talk to Y'shtola and continue on. Void theory. Y'shtola is eager to depart for the vault. Of course she is. Look who I came across. Estinian seemed in need of diversion, and we, in turn, may have need of his lance. It would probably be a good thing. It would probably be a good thing to have Estinian there, just to have another fighter with us, just in case, you know. Right, then. Now that our little party is assembled, let us make our way to the ruins. Will we have need of Matsu's boat again? Not this time. Once Y'shtola informed me of our destination, I arranged for a vessel to be made ready at Akiali. Your Excellency is ever so gracious host. Shall we? Okay, let's head back over to Akiali. A little bit to the south, right? Yeah, we don't need Matsu's boat again. It'd be kind of weird if we used it again. It was like, that was supposed to be like a one-time deal. Okay, let's see this boat. "'Tis likely not needed with Vitra along, but I held on to the map against the chance we might return to the ruins." "On to the boat, if you please. We can chat on the way there." And all this time, I thought that the tales of Azadal's hoard was no more than a drunken sailor's fancies. You need not keep your weapons close at hand. The Guardians will not attack if I am present, so I pray you leave them be. Sorry again, Vitra. The ship is yours to command. Oh, thanks. We set sail at once. Oh, this is exciting. Azadal's legacy. To see the truth of a legend with mine own eyes. All aboard for the treasure vault. Yep, head on over there. We won't destroy all the guards this time, Vitra. Sorry. Again. I thought we cleared this place of constructs the last time we came through. It would seem a few stragglers remained. Estinian, I hope you didn't take them out. Poor Vitra. He really should have spoken with Estinian before we left. I shudder to think what we've cost them in terms of construct materials. He laid Oh no, Estinian. He laid waste to them ere I could utter a single word. Estinian, please. This is why you talk to the other NPCs. You get little goofy things like that.
The ruins alone were impressive enough, but I never dreamed such a treasure lay hidden in the depths of the bounty. It may have been helpful to know this device existed, Your Excellency.
My apologies. The gate was a secret I shared with none but my closest advisors. I feared for what might happen should those with ill intentions learn of its existence.
What is it you're doing now?
There's something I wish to verify. The NOAA reports claim that a short stint into the void carries little risk of etheric imbalance.
Y'shtola, what are you doing?
An injury, however, or if one's expedition drags on longer than intended, that risk becomes significantly greater.
As we saw with Nero.
Graha theorized that a warding scale would confer protection from the Void's corrupting influence. But I would prefer to test that hypothesis before we set foot in the 13th
Okay,
ourselves.
okay, good. She's actually thinking ahead this time. She's
So,
just been rushing
this
head
is an
forth.
experiment of sorts.
She's been heading, like, headstrong right into this.
Yes, an experiment. Tell me, how would you go about testing the efficacy of the warding scale?
Summon a primal. Oh. Yeah. Might as well go myself. Say nothing and look meaningfully as Estinian. Maybe send a familiar?
Very good. I see you've been paying attention.
Oh, okay.
As Vritra sent his simulacrum, so too shall we rely on a familiar to bear the brunt of any unpleasant consequences. Now, a lowly imp can navigate a fissure, no matter how narrow. Which means an arcane entity of similar stature should be able to manage the same.
Okay, so she's just gonna make a little imp thing. Right.
I hadn't wanted it to come to this, but no other familiars will do, I'm afraid.
Oh, is she gonna summon a Porksy?
I mislike the sound of that. What manner of fiend does she mean to summon?
This is gonna be a Porksy, isn't it?
From ocean rise and cloudbank form, from mountain spring and rainfall storm, from river flow and life be born.
Oh right, this is the magical girl you stole screenshots I saw. Oh. It's one of the frogs. That was so out of character.
Ready your arms. I fear she's been possessed.
Understandable reaction.
Oh, come now. That was adorable.
What? She's all embarrassed.
Though not my first choice. These familiars I conceived of as a child have the best chance of fitting through the gate. I only wish my younger self had considered a more dignified ending to the creation ritual.
What do you mean that was perfect?
In any case, these two should serve us well. This one will bear a warding scale.
And this one won't.
And when they return from the 13th, we can observe how the talisman, or absence thereof, has affected the progress of the Void's corruption. If I could impose upon you to open the gate. Your Excellency?
He's still stunned.
Ah, yes, of course.
We should also be wary of void scent slipping through while we conduct our experiment. Estinian, you are to keep Nadana safe from harm.
As you say.
He can do that.
You had best be on your guard as well.
Oh, don't worry, I am. Although I'm still a bit stunned. Oh no. Oh man. This is so tempting. This is so tempting. But I know I'm gonna get... Actually, that's the whole point, is to get the other dialogue. Froth and Foam!
Oh, are you volunteering to join the Nixies? I could shrink you down, you know.
Right. That's right, she turned us into those
Let us
frogs
begin,
at the
shall
beginning
we?
of Endwalker. In the Labyrinthos section.
Nixies, Into the void.
It'd be really funny if that's her voice actress doing those voices. Got the spoopy music. Oh, we gotta wait around and talk to everyone again. Every time I come here, it reminds me of the dark portal above the Crystal Tower, and the final lash of Azadal. As I can never pronounce the other dragon's name. As Daja's tale as she plunged into the void. Sorry again, Vitra. Sisters, save me! I will never see you stood the same way again. Rough and firm indeed. I struggled to picture Y'shtola as a little girl. Easier to believe she sprung fully formed from one of Master Matoya's cauldrons. Yeah. We need to wait for the time to ensure a meaningful result. Be patient and keep watch for any intruders. Well, I'm not seeing any intruders. Let's wait at the destination.
I think we've waited long enough. Nixies, return to my side.
Now the question is, are they actually going to return? Oh, looks like one of them was protected, but the other one doesn't look so hot.
Thank you, little one. You did well.
Oh, the poor thing. Its essence has been irrevocably warped.
Sinister voice.
We're out of time. I must reseal the void gate.
Looks like fun.
In the name of Alzadal III, I bar this door unto the void.
Well, that was a sharp lesson in the dangers of void gates.
And what of our experiment? I'd say the results speak for themselves.
The unprotected Nixie has suffered extensive etheric corruption. As Nidana observed, it's well on its way to becoming a void scent. The one merged with the talisman, however, appears unaffected. I sense no changes to its equilibrium.
Well, that's useful.
Rest now, little ones.
Graha's theory was correct then.
It seems like it.
So it would seem. But while our second familiar was untouched by void energies, the talisman itself shows signs of degradation.
Okay.
It
Yeah, that would
was,
be a
of
little too
course,
easy.
Originally designed to shield the soul from primal tempering. It stands to reason that etheric corruption of a different sort would affect it differently. We may need to modify the warding scale's design to account for the 13th's uniquely unstable ether.
You've said much of the Void's instability, but my imagination fails me. What manner of place is this broken world?
Oh, I mean, we were kind of went there.
Ah, my apologies. I forget that not all of us spend our days sequestered in dusty archives. The 13th is a reflection of the source that was drowned in a flood of darkness. In Emmett Selk's own words, this tragedy was a result of the Ascians' attempts to force a rejoining. They erred in their haste, and made of that world a useless void. You remember Unakalhai?
Yes.
The unusual child we met during our troubles with the Warring Triad. He explained the fate of the 13th thus. The champions of that ill-fated world used the stone known as Auracite to contain the power of primals. But those self-same heroes were gradually corrupted by the Auracite's bleeding energies, transforming into fiends with an endless hunger for ether. By the time anyone thought to oppose them, Light's strength had grown too feeble, and the balance of the 13th tipped into eternal darkness.
I wonder if that guy we saw is one of those former heroes.
It was Elidibus, as I recall, who rescued Unakalhai's spirit from his final battlefield. But I wonder if there were others whom the emissary saved from oblivion.
Yep, the barmaid and the wandering. I wonder if that pops up. Okay, so neither. Okay, I'm really confused because neither of these are required content. But we did both of those. One of them, the top one, is from the Void quest after you finish all of the Shadowbringer's role quests. And then the second one is. Oh. No, the second one isn't from required content. So the top one only shows up if you've done the Void quests. But the bottom one is the Elven Swordsman, who they're referring to is the barmaid. The Elven Swordsman is the barmaid, and we learn that in the Void quests. I'm glad we did those.
The server, Ciela, wasn't it? And you say she was another of Elidibus's pawns? I see. So Ciela, or rather Silver, was beguiled by the same dreams of heroism as Unakalhai. And what of your own experience? Will you tell us of what you observed during Noah's expedition?
I don't remember. That was over a year ago. Almost 2 years ago.
I can picture it now. The sunless, Stygian expanse, infested with legions of ether-starved monstrosities. A void in every sense of the word.
What you have described in such lurid detail is exactly why I hesitate to encourage you.
We get it, Vitra. That's not going to stop you, Stola.
Worry not, great Vritra. Our journey into the 13th is but the first leg of a longer voyage. A voyage that shall lead us to other reflections, to new mysteries and discoveries. And I mean to be there every step of the way. But first I must focus on refining the warding talisman.
Sounds like a job for
And I can
Nadana.
begin work on constructing an artificial Atomos. Or I could if I had the relevant manuals to hand. Might I be so bold as to request access to the Satrap's family archives?
Mitra really doesn't want us doing this.
Your Excellency?
Oh, yes. That can be arranged. I will speak to my officials upon our return.
We will see you back in the city then.
Let's just stay and see. Seeing the Void's terror firsthand was an experience, but I doubt fear of such creatures is the root of Vitra's hesitation. A satrap's duty, is this the last one? Yes it is. A satrap's duty is to allow ponders the next stage of your preparations to enter the Void. Once Nidana succeeds in replicating the Mach Atomos, this door into the 13th will be ours to open. Will you be crossing the threshold alongside us? I realize this is more of my endeavor than yours. To be honest, I've no interest in visiting the Void myself. Yeah, but think of the amazing battles you can have. Might we discuss this later? There is something I must do first. Why does everyone insist on being so secretive? I at least had a good reason for not wanting to explain my Nixie ritual. Ahem. Shall we proceed with our own preparations then? As we saw, the warding scale can be effective at protecting the bearer from other sources of etheric corruption. Nevertheless, the talisman's durability will need to be improved if it is to withstand the Void's influence for a prolonged length of time. And I think that this is a problem that we can address without involving the brilliant but busy alchemist who created it. Who do we know who excels in this kind of structural augmentation? The Ironworks? Yep, the Elegance. It's always the Elegance. Yeah, Garland Ironworks. An excellent suggestion. As I recall, Sid himself is no stranger to the Void and its Void Gate energies. Yeah, didn't he go with us into the Void? With his experienced hand at the helm, I have every confidence that the Ironworks can strengthen the warding scale. Come, let us visit their operation in Ralgor's Reach and commission their best and brightest. Okay, let's head on over to Ralgor's Reach. Oh, okay. I guess we're just going straight there. Oh, it's just literally gonna put us here? Okay. Let's head on over where the Ironworks. Not gonna talk to Jessie? Isn't Jessie over here or something? Yeah, there she is. Perhaps this young man can locate Sid for us. Maybe you should talk to Jessie? Brilliant! What brings you to the Ironworks? We have a commission for you and your president, actually, assuming he's available. Master Sid? Certainly. I'll see if he has a moment free. He definitely doesn't. A pleasure as always. I hear you have a job for us. Yeah, we want to go to the 13th. Heading into the void to find a lost dragon? That sounds almost pedestrian compared to your last adventure. Honestly, I don't know if you could say anything that would surprise me after Meteon and that bloody mess. Alright, let's take a look at this talisman of yours. You said there were signs of degradation. I mean, I can't tell, but Y'shtola says there is. It seems some manner of corrosion has set in around a scratch on its surface, much as the void's corruption seeped into Nero through his wounds. In which case, our best bet may just simply prevent the scale from being damaged in the first place. And how would we achieve that? We have a coding agent of strengthened we have a coding agent for strengthening trinkets and the like, but I'd be wary of applying any compound which might upset the scale's delicate alchemical balance. Far safer to dress it in armor. Gonna make a little suit of armor for it? We'll construct a protective casing, one utilizing metal alloys with high etheric conductivity, so as not to impede the talisman's primary function. A suit of armor, as you said. Nero has compiled data on the 13th, so I'll have him pitch in with the design just in case, just to be sure. If only I weren't such an if only it weren't such an ordeal to convince him to follow our safety protocols. I swear, I've never had such a reckless employee. In any case, we may need some time to untangle the particulars. Understandable. We know how busy your schedule is, and the final result will doubtless be worth the wait. The hard part will be ducking Jessie and her constant barrage of demands while we sneak about doing the fun stuff. Well, we'll see what we can do. I mean, Jesse's the real one in charge. He's the president only in name and maybe skill. I think we can leave the rest to Sid's capable hands. Let's return to the Great Walk and see how Nadana's is getting on with the Mock Atmos. Are they gonna just take us right there, or are we gonna have to run all the way there? Okay, come on. You teleport me directly to Girabanya, but then you don't teleport me directly back. Like, why? I don't get the reasoning there. Oh well. Ilsabard and the Great Walk. Okay, Nadana. How are things coming? The insatiable curiosity of our alchemist has ever amazed me, though I've largely left them to their own devices since we opened the gate together. Oops, I meant to talk to Y'shtola there.
Hey, Stola. The adjustments are going well, I hope?
Probably.
'Tis a lengthy process, but the end is in sight, yes.
That's wonderful news. I myself had some good fortune searching through the Satrap's private records. What I found was a transaction log dated around the same period as when Alzadal's legacy was built. It included a purchase list of highly exclusive alchemical components, and I knew I'd discovered the key to making the artificial Atomos. I then visited the High Crucible to commission the materials. After I'd explained my requirements, I was beset by volunteers insisting I allow them to help with the entire project.
Of course she would.
The usual reaction to someone forcing open a void gate is to run for the hills. Harnish academics certainly are a different breed.
The alchemists of old were cut from a similar cloth. The unknown held no fear for them. Indeed, they were ever eager to seek new knowledge, regardless of the danger.
That sounds like a double-edged sword.
And were you not also fearless, heedless even, in your determination?
My sire entered his dormancy before I was hatched. And so it was Ashdaya who kept my eggs safe and warm. It created a bond between us. Even long after I learned to fend for myself, I rarely strayed from her side. She was my guardian, my sister, my dear companion. And not a single day passes that I do not mourn her absence. No matter how deep the darkness, I would not surrender my search. I promised myself the time would come when we would once more take to the skies together. But I am satrap now.
The Radiant Host is here to serve, Your Excellency.
Nabdeen, what is this about?
Sir Estinian told us of your predicament.
Astinian.
For centuries you have protected Rads at Han, never showing your true self, hiding behind a curtain and living only in service to the people. Your dedication meant more to us than your deceit, and so did we accept you as our rightful ruler. After all that you have sacrificed for this nation, did you imagine we would begrudge you your heart's desire? We survived the final days. We are a strong and proud people. We, the Radiant Host, will keep Thavnair safe in your absence.
I am grateful for your loyalty and for your encouragement. And yet...
Now you listen to me, Varshan! You are wearing that face, after all. As I have told you before, you are a little brother to us all. And if you are family, then so too is your sister. We are there for you if you need us. But do not ask us to sit by and watch while you abandon a sibling you have ached to rescue for millennia.
We will succeed in opening the way. It is only a matter of time. All you need do is prepare to step through to the other side.
Again, this seems like we're rushing into this. Oh, there's Astinian. And the kids.
Your Excellency, I wanted to thank you for building the orphanage. It means so much that my sister and I will have a place to be together, safe and happy. And I hope that you and your sister can be together again too.
To protect them well, you must take heart. Will you wallow in uncertainty forever?
Take heart and protect them well.
I forget what that's from. Or is that what he said?
Such were the words I once
Yeah.
said to you. And here I stand, failing to live up to them. If my heart is torn, I am fit to protect neither Ashdaya nor Radzatan. My people, I have come to a decision. Vashan will depart Thavnir for a time. My dragon self will remain in the palace, but only to conduct the satrap's most essential duties. While I am focused on controlling this vessel, there may be matters that escape my attention. I rely on you, my trusted friends, to watch over one another until I return.
Take care, and fair fortune, little brother.
He's not leaving
Many
yet.
tears would be shed should you come to harm.
I would not dare make you cry.
Well, that was nice. We'll have the utmost built before you know it. When a project like this comes along, we give it our full and undivided attention. Sleep? Pah! Who needs it? Oh, that reminds me. I really should finish that other project I was working on for His Excellency. Huh? What other project? Convincing others to follow their heart is not my forte. I would have gladly let our more philosophical comrades take the lead had they been here. Right. I think Alphanode would have done a fine job. I will not squander this chance you have given me. I will find Ajdaya. What? Someone needed to give that boy a good talking to. You don't suppose I'll be reprimanded, do you? I did just yell at the satrap. Oh, don't worry, you're fine. You surprise me, Stinian. For a lone wolf, you've shown an unusual degree of shall we say, involvement in helping Vitra reach his conclusion. 'Twas for the greater good. The worm's thundering sighs were keeping his citizens awake at night, and had travelers believed the palace racked by some unnatural storm. What of your own answer, then? You seem disinclined to venture into the void. When I was one with Nidhogg, his vengeful thoughts were my thoughts, his endless rage my rage. The soul-chilling grief he nursed right, that was supposed to be his broodmate, I believe. I would not wish such agony upon a foe, let alone a friend and ally. If there is a chance we can spare Vitra that pain, then I will follow you. An unusual crew we have here. Any other former scions we should call upon? Just the four of us. Yes, a very unusual crew. Indeed, but perfect for our purpose. I should think. I'd rather not bother with the scions with aught less than a dire threat to the star. Well, I mean, I think we're kind of gonna head there. Now, on to the specifics. Unlike the first, where the flood of light was halted before its devastation was complete, the 13th has been utterly subsumed by darkness. My plan, as such, is to explore the void in stages, withdrawing to safety after each brief foray. 'Twould be more convenient had we some manner of base camp near the gate itself. One of the palace chambers should serve. Come, let us reconvene outside Megaduta. Okay. We'll have that Atmos built before you know it. When a project like this comes along, we give our full and oh, right, we read that. Okay. Head on over to Megaduta, and I think that's probably going to be the end. Yeah, that's the end. Then we'll probably get one more cutscene. Let's see. I don't think we can... Yeah, there's no teleporting, so we'll just teleport over to Thavnir. Or Radzidhan. Head on over to Megaduta and wrap things up. Oop, not that one. This one. I still can't believe they didn't have a map like that until Endwalker. Like, I mean, I played the game with that. Anyway, let's talk to each of them and then finish it up. Conducting our expedition out of the Rising Stones would raise just as many questions as recruiting too many scions. At least here in Radsid-Han, we might be expected to appear road-weary from our local explorations. I also just remembered I forgot to re-equip my Glam for this, but whatever. I was put into a guest room in the palace while I waited my audience with Vitra. Expect will be given the use of something similar. Okay. Whoops. Talk to Varshan and wrap things up. Oops. Oh, come on. He said, and so that's why we'll need guest rooms. All the chambers are presently hosting the great mounds of treasure we carried out of the vault. Once the Foundation's activities begin in earnest, however, we can redistribute the trove and make room or two ready for habitation. Good. Please inform me when you've completed your arrangements. As you heard, we will have you settled in Magaduta in due time. As ever, you are most gracious, Your Excellency. You'll risk yourselves to aid me in my search to Ajdaya. Providing comfortable quarters is the least that I can do. I only wish we knew more about our destination. The gods only know how long our explorations might possibly take, or what our chance of success might possibly be. Succeed or fail, I am grateful to you for convincing me to make the attempt. On that note, I will return to the Great Walk and lend what help I can to Nadana. If you've preparations to make ere we venture into the 13th, now is the time. All I need is my armor and my lance. Perhaps I'll train with the Radiant Host to pass the time before we depart. You know what this means to me, Brillian, but my purpose need not consume you as well. You are headed to another world. Find what joy you can in the experience. For you are a traveler, an adventurer at heart. This I know. Well, yeah, I got this little stone that I'm trying not to eat. It tells me that I'm an explorer. A satrap's duty. Let's grab the crit materia as usual. Meanwhile, in the 13th. Ah yes, this thing again. Okay, it's got a scythe. But we still have no idea what it is. It's got a weird hand on its face. I mean, it kind of looks like Xenos's... Okay. But, I mean... Okay, this might have been Xenos's Void Scent, or... I think that's how Reaper works.
To this world, bereft of service.
I haven't done the Reaper questline, so I don't know how Reaper works. Alright, that was 6.1. That was pretty fun and pretty interesting. But that's all we're gonna do for today. Yeah, let's finish up over here. A much better view. Anyway, we're getting some pretty interesting knowledge about the 13th. Hopefully we get to find out some more on once we get to 6.2. But first, there's some more stuff that I want to start going through to do all the 6.1 content, and I need to actually go through the list and figure out what we're going to be doing next week. But expect it to be, I don't think we have Hildebrand yet, but we have the trial or whatever that, and you have the thing that Kryl needs help with. We have the first of the Alliance raids, which we'll definitely do. I think a million's custom deliveries, which will start that off. I'll probably do that first since it's time gated, and then did they add the Akasadara tribal quests? I have it all written down. I'll figure out what we need to do. But until then, goodbye.